When that Satphone buzzes, it's never good news. Someone's either dead or dangling on the edge. I grabbed it on the third hum, my hands grimy with oil, lungs thick with the stench of diesel and salty decay. Static hissed, then a woman's voice cut through, cold as a hospital floor. "Mr. Parker, Child Protective Services here. We found your boy wandering solo near 2 to 16. He claims his mom's buddy told him to hit the road." A beat, then faint sobs in the background. "He's asking for you." I didn't say a word, didn't even breathe. Not out of shock. I'd been bracing for something like this for months. Across the deck, my foreman's eyes locked on mine. He froze mid-yell, mouth flapping. "What's wrong?" he mouthed. I didn't answer. He strode over, clocked my expression, and barked. "Chopper's coming. Emergency evac." The crew thought it was some freak accident, a family mess I'd rush home to patch up. They didn't know I wasn't heading home to fix anything. I was on the hunt. I touched down just past midnight, tarmac slick from a storm that had already blown through. She didn't even bother showing up to meet me. I found him in a beige government room, curled on a tiny cot that reeked of plastic and cheap lemon cleaner. He looked up as I walked in. No smile, no tears, just a quiet, "You're here." I nodded, nothing more. That night, in a borrowed motel bed, he slept beside me while I stared at the ceiling, piecing it together. Something had been off with her for weeks. Maybe longer. Texts that came late, fake laughs, the whiff of some stranger's cologne in our house. I'd been gone too much, too often. She used to care when I left. Now, she barely noticed. I kept telling myself it was all in my head, until he said it. "Mom's friend told me to scram." Kids don't make that up, not with that kind of clarity. I didn't grill him. Not yet. I just watched. I told her I was back early for some mandatory psych eval. She flashed a smile like she'd been caught with her hand in the cookie jar. All charm and no shame. "Oh, you're back already? How nice," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm, like I was some annoying coworker crashing her party. The next morning, I packed his bag and told her he'd be at my sister's for the week. She didn't blink, didn't ask why, just gave me that smug, whatever, less hassle for me shrug. Like she was thrilled to have one less thing to fake. I cloned her phone that night, had the backup done by dark. Messages, photos, voice notes, they hit like a punch to the gut. But it wasn't him that broke me. It was her. The way she talked about me like I was some clueless chump. "He'll never catch on," she texted. "He's always out there playing sailor. Thinks the kid's just a box to check. Not a husband, just a paycheck." They weren't just fooling around, they were plotting a whole life without me, like I was already gone. They didn't expect me to show up. Not like this. Not quiet. Not with time. I filed for temporary custody that afternoon. Got a private lab for a paternity test the next day. A week went by, and she didn't even ask where he was. That told me everything. The results came on a Thursday, a thick envelope with cold, clinical ink. Probability of paternity, 0%. Numbers don't lie, don't leave wiggle room for excuses or second chances. I left it on the dining table, right by her precious coffee mug, and waited. 40 minutes later, her breath hitched like she'd slammed into a brick wall. She stormed into the doorway, clutching the paper like it was radioactive. "You did this," she snapped, her voice all venom and fake outrage. "He's your son," I said, staring her down, my eyes flat as the truth. "No, he's innocent. You're the lie." She crumbled right there in the kitchen, where we used to dance barefoot on lazy Sundays. She folded like a cheap lawn chair, all her bravado gone. I didn't yell, didn't make a scene. I just slid a key across the counter. Storage unit on 4th. His drawings, his baby clothes, every photo I snapped while I was offshore. It's all there. She blinked, thrown off. What am I supposed to do with that? I shrugged. Take a good look at what you threw away. Her lip quivered. Good. I walked past her, then paused, dropping the line I knew would gut her. He asked if you'd show up for his birthday. I told him you were too busy with your new priorities. She sank into a chair like her spine had given up. I didn't look back. That night, I stood in my sister's guest room, watching him sleep. Same nose, different eyes. He'd never be mine by blood, but that didn't matter. He was mine in the way that counted, heart, not DNA. I picked up his drawing from the floor, a lopsided house, 2 stick figures, 1 tall, 1 small. Just 2. I folded it, tucked it into my jacket, and stepped outside. The air smelled like rain was coming. They still think I'm out at sea. They don't know I'm already home. And I don't leave things half done. Not anymore.